Hello, good morning. This will be your lesson 8, okay? I hope na napanood nyo na yung lesson 7, yung previous uh, video na sinend ko sa inyo, yung recent video na sinend ko sa inyo. And sabi ko nga sa last video natin, kapag natapos nyo na yung requirements ninyo for lesson 1 to 5, pwede na kayong mag-prelim exam, okay? So, this is your lesson 8. So lesson 7 natin, pinag-aralan natin is your types of major accounts. So, I hope na na-familiarize nyo na yung mga charts of accounts under asset, liabilities, and capital or equity. Okay? Na-discuss natin yung mga account titles under assets, which is we have the current assets, non-current assets, tangible assets, intangible assets, and also the liabilities. Yung mga account title dito, paki-familiarize lang or memorize nyo lang kasi magagamit natin yan sa mga previous sa mga discussions natin na susunod. Or dito sa topic natin sa lesson 8. So, gagamitin natin itong mga account titles na to. Okay? Revenue also and the expenses. We discussed also yung sabi ko kanina about the charts of account. Now, let's go to the accounting equation. So, at the end of the video, you should be able to discuss the accounting equation, illustrate the accounting equation, apply the accounting equation to simple business transactions, noting the increases and decreases in the basic elements of the account equation. Okay? Number 4, apply the accounting equation to simple business transactions affecting the accounts using a tabular format. Okay? That is our objectives for this lesson, accounting equation. Now, let's talk about what is accounting equation. Yan. The basic tool of accounting where the left side of equation shows, ayan, ito, left side of equation shows the resources owned by the business. Ano ba yung sinabi natin sa asset? This is your kayamanan or your resources sa business. Sa right side of the equation naman, shows the resources that are applied to the business by the outside creditors and the owners. So, dito, liabilities plus capital. So, ang accounting equation na sinasabi natin is asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. Okay? Take note of that accounting equation. We will be using that on the business transaction. Okay? So, accounting equation, asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. Now, let's take this illustration. Effects of business transaction in the accounting equation. So, ito yung business transaction niya, 1 to 12. Basahin natin. The owner invested cash to an internet business for 200,000. The business purchased internet equipment in cash for 50,000. The business purchased computer printers on account or credit for 10,000. The business purchased supplies in cash for 2,000. The business collected cash from the internet gamers and users for 50,000. Number 6 is the business paid salaries to employees for 10,000. The business paid communication expenses for 20,000. And the business paid electricity bills worth 2,000. The owners withdraws cash for 5,000. And the business partially paid the payable incurred in the purchase of computer printers for 5,000. Next is the owner invested additional cash to the business for 100,000. And lastly, at the end of the month, physical count of supplies shows consumption of supplies amount to 1,500. So, isa-isahin natin to. Isa-isahin natin i-analyze kung ano ba yung mga transactions na to. Okay? Let's start with, tignan muna natin yung effects of business transaction in accounting equation. So, ang original na accounting equation natin is asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. So, pero, pwede din siyang isulat na ganito. Asset minus liabilities is equal to your capital. Or, your liabilities is equal to assets minus capital, okay? Pero ang gagamitin natin na accounting equation is asset is equal to liabilities plus capital, okay? Now, i-analyze natin yung binasa natin kanina na transaction. So, isa-isahin natin. So, number 1, the owner invested cash to an internet business for 200,000. Si owner daw nag-invest ng cash para sa kanyang internet business worth 200,000. So, ano ba yung effect dito sa accounting equation natin? So, si assets, may nag-increase ba kay asset? Sabi dito, the owner invested cash. So, meaning, nag-increase yung asset mo. Kasi, nadagdagan yung cash mo. So, as yung cash mo is considered your asset. Diba? Sa account title natin, ay sa accounting, sa mga under cash is, under asset is considered your cash. Okay? Kaya sabi ko, you should familiarize kung ano ba yung mga accounting title na nandun na nakapaloob sa asset and sa liabilities and dun sa capital. So, dito sa transaction number 1, the owner invested cash to one internet business for 200,000. So, meaning, nadagdagan yung cash niya. Okay, nadagdagan ba yung liabilities niya? So, may binanggit ba dito na utang ng company? Wala, di ba? So, magiging walang effect dito sa liabilities. Pero, ang tanong, nadagdagan ba yung capital niya? O, nag-invest siya. From the word investment, that is considered your capital. Di ba? So, nag-increase yung capital niya. Okay? So, the business infused cash of 200,000, which is an asset. So, ito yun. In effect, 200,000 is added to the equation 4 on the left side. O, ito. Yung accounting equation natin na which is asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. So, nadagdagan yung asset niya which is 200,000. While the same amount is added to the equation on the right side, so the right side niya, as the capital to the owner, so 200,000. Take note that both sides of the equation, the amounts are equal. So, equal yun, di ba? May 200,000 siya dito, may 200,000 din siya dito. So, balance, tama? So, no effect to the liabilities as the transaction does not involve a liability. So, wala namang utang dito na ni-state. Nag-invest lang siya para sa business, which is the amount of 200,000. Okay? So, this will be the effect. So, may nag-increase sa asset, nag-increase din sa capital. Okay? So, that is the both side is equal to 200,000. Ayan. Okay? So that is the effects of transaction on the accounting equation natin. Now let's go to number 2. The business purchase internet equipment in cash for 50,000. Ayan. Si business daw nag-purchase ng internet equipment for 50,000. Kinash niya. Okay? So take note, nag-cash, bumili si business ng internet equipment na binayaran niya ng cash for 50,000. Ngayon, ang effect dun sa transaction is yung under asset, nag-increase ka ng asset. Increase in one form of asset. Meaning, may nadagdag sa'yo na asset mo, which is your internet equipment. Pero, nag-decrease ka in another form of asset kasi nagbayad ka ng cash. So, yung investment mo na 200,000, nabawasan na ng 50,000. Tama? Kasi nagbayad ka ng internet equipment. Binayaran mo siya ng cash. Tama? Okay. Now, sa liabilities is nagkakaroon ka ng walang effect kasi hindi mo naman siya inutang yung pinurchase mo internet equipment, tama? Okay, sa capital naman, wala ding effect kasi hindi ka naman nag-invest dito sa capital. Tama? Okay, hindi naman in-state na in-invest mo yung internet equipment. Okay? So that is the effect of your of the transaction sa accounting equation. So dito, the transaction involves two forms of asset. Ayan, two forms of assets which is the internet equipment and the cash. One is the internet equipment which is added to the equation as an asset. And the other one is cash being taken out from the equation as payment. Okay? The effect of two asset is zero. So, walang nabawasan. Walang nabawasan, which is still makes the accounting equation equal. Okay? Equal pa rin yung accounting equation. Kasi, nagkaroon ka ng internet equipment na worth 50,000 pero nabawasan ka rin ng 50,000 na cash. So walang effect doon sa transaction. So walang both side is equal to 0. Okay? Now, dito sa number 3, the business purchase computer printers on account or credit for 10,000. So, ito na. Si business daw nag-purchase ng computer printers pero inutang niya for 10,000. Okay, naintindihan? Dito sa transaction number 3, nag-purchase ng computer printers yung business pero inutang niya for 10,000. So, ang effect ng transaction sa accounting equation is yung asset mo nag-increase kasi may nadagdag na computer printers. Okay? And then, yung liabilities mo nag-increase din kasi inutang mo yung computer printers which worth 10,000. Okay? Sa capital, walang effect kasi hindi mo naman siya ininvest. Okay? There is an increase in assets which is added on the left side. 10,000 na computer printers. In the form of, computer printers, and at the same time, an increase in the liabilities on the right side on the equation as the asset is purchased on account or on credit. Ayan. Nag-increase siya sa liabilities mo kasi nagkaroon ka ng utang. Okay? Number 4, transaction. Okay? The business purchase supplies in cash for 2,000. Ayan, si business nag-purchase ng supplies na binayaran niya ng cash for 2,000. So, take note of that. Nagkaroon ka ng supplies, pero binayaran mo yung supplies na yon ng 2,000. Okay? Sa effect, anong mangyayari dun sa accounting equation? Ano yung mangyayari doon? Ano yung effect doon? Ano yung effect ng transaction doon? So, dito sa asset, increase in one form of asset and decrease in another form of asset. Nag-increase ka sa supplies, pero nabawasan yung cash mo kasi binayad mo sa supplies. Tama? Okay? Sa liabilities, wala namang effect kasi hindi mo naman siya inutang. Binayaran mo siya na cash. Tama? Okay, sa capital naman, no effect din kasi hindi ka naman nag-invest doon. Okay? There is an increase in one form of an asset which is added on the left side. Ayan. Of the equation in the form of supplies and decrease on another form of an asset which is deducted on the left side of the equation in the form of cash. So, nag-increase ka sa supplies pero nabawasan yung cash mo ng 2,000. So, wala ding effect. Magiging 0 din ito, di ba? So, both side is equal to 0. Okay? Number 5. The business collected cash from the internet gamers and users for 50,000. So, nagka-collect daw si business ng cash sa mga internet gamers and users worth 50,000. So, meaning, nadagdagan yung cash mo, which is asset. It is your asset, di ba? So, transaction number 5, asset is equal to yung increase in asset. Liabilities, wala ka namang utang dito. Yung capital, nadagdagan din ng yung capital mo. Ayan, 50,000 dito sa left side and 50,000 dito sa right side. So, both side is equal to 50,000. So, there is an increase in the asset on the left side of the equation in the form of cash and the increase in the capital on the right side of the equation in the form of, ayan, revenues kasi yan. Yung 50,000 na yun na na-collect nyo sa mga customers, that is considered yung business na revenue ng business or income ng business yan. Kasi kaya nag-fall siya under capital. So, please take note that all revenues and income increases the capital of the owner in the accounting equation. Okay? So, that is your transaction number 5. Now, let's go to transaction number 6. The business paid salaries to employees for 10,000. So, si business daw nagbayad ng salaries para sa kanyang mga empleyado for 10,000. So, since nagbayad siya, naglabas siya ng cash, nabawasan yung cash mo. Anong mangyayari dun sa asset mo? So, decrease in asset. Meaning, nagbawas ka ng cash mo. Liabilities, wala mo namang utang dyan. Wala namang nabanggit na utang, di ba? And then sa capital, a decrease in capital din. Kasi nagbayad ka nga ng salaries of your empleyado or your employees. Okay, both side is decrease. Nag-decrease sila ng 10,000. So, there is a decrease of asset on the left side of the equation in the form of cash and decrease of capital on the right side. So, dito, of the equation in the form of salaries as expense incurred by the business. So, please take note that all expenses incurred by the business decreases the capital account of the owner. Okay? So, kapag sa transaction number 5, all revenues and income increases the capital of the owner. Pag expenses naman, decreases also the capital of the owner. Okay? Please take note of those. Now, sa transaction number 7, the business paid communication expenses for 20,000. So, nagbayad si business ng communication expenses niya for 20,000. So, meaning kapag nagbayad, nabawasan na naman yung asset mo in the form of cash. Tama? Okay, that is considered expenses. So meaning mababawasan din yung capital mo. So asset, decrease in assets. Liabilities, wala siyang effect kasi wala namang sinabing utang or nagbayad ka ng utang mo. So capital, nabawasan din yung capital mo kasi naglabas ka nga ng pera. So there is a decrease of asset on the left side of the equation in the form of cash payment, and a decrease of capital on the right side of the equation in the form of communication expense. So, all expenses, sabi nga natin, all expenses incurred by the business decrease the capital of the owner. So, both side decrease by 20,000. Okay? Number 8. The business paid electricity bills worth 2,000. So, nagbayad si business ng electricity bill worth 2,000. So, nabawasan na naman yung cash mo dun sa asset mo, nabawasan din yung capital mo kasi that is considered your expenses. Okay? So, dito sa asset, decrease in asset. Liabilities, wala siyang effect. Sa capital naman, wala din siyang effect. Nag-decrease siya nag-decrease din siya sa capital. So, there is a decrease of asset on the left side of the equation. Ito, ng 2,000 in the form of cash payment. And decrease of capital on the right side of the equation in the form of electricity expenses. So, both side is decreased by 2,000. So, palagi nating sinasabi, all expenses incurred by the business decrease the capital account of the owner. Okay, transaction number 9. The owner withdraws cash for 5,000. So, nag-withdraw daw si owner ng cash ng 5,000 for personal use. Okay? So, kapag nag-withdraw siya, nabawasan na naman yung cash mo or yung asset mo. And then, at the same time, nabawasan din yung capital mo. So, sa asset, decrease in asset, and liabilities, wala siyang effect. And sa capital, nag-decrease ka din dun sa capital. So, there is a decrease of asset on the left side of the equation in the form of cash payment to the owner, and decrease of capital on the right side of the equation in the form of cash withdrawal by the owner. Ayan. Nag-withdraw kasi si owner ng pera niya, which is 5,000. Kaya nabawasan din yung capital niya for personal use kasi yun. Okay? So, both side decrease 5,000. So, please take note, ayan, that all withdrawals of assets made by the owner from the business decreases the capital account of the owner. Okay? Number 10, the business partially paid the payable incurred in the purchase of computer printers for 5,000. So, business daw nagbayad ng kanyang utang pero partial payment lang. Dun sa pinurchase niya noon na computer printers. Magkano yung amount na binigay niya? 5,000 lang. Okay? So, kapag nagbayad ka naman ng utang mo, nabawasan na naman yung asset mo. So, magkakaroon tayo ng decrease in asset and also sa liabilities, decrease in liabilities rin kasi nagbayad ka nga ng utang mo which is worth 5,000. So, sa capital, walang effect doon. Okay? So, both sides decrease by 5,000. Okay? There is a decrease of assets on the left side of the equation in the form of payment and the decrease of liabilities on the right side of the equation in the form of partial payment to the liability on transaction. Okay? So, nag-partial payment siya sa liabilities niya. So, both side, nag-decrease siya ng 5,000. Okay? Sa transaction 11 naman, the owner invested additional cash to the business for 100,000. So, si owner nag-invest ng additional, ayan, ng additional cash which is 100,000. Ayan. So, meaning, nadagdagan yung asset mo ng 100,000 and also, nadagdagan din yung capital mo ng 100,000 kasi nag-invest ka nga. Tama? So, both side is equal to or increase by 100,000. Okay? There is an increase of asset in the form of cash on the left side of the equation and increase in capital on the right side of the equation in the form of additional capital investment by the owner. Ayan. So, lahat ng investment made by the owner to the business increase the capital account of the equation. Kaya, nag-increase ng both side yung ng 100,000. Okay? Sa transaction number 12 naman, so at the end of the month, the physical count of supplies shows consumption of supplies amount to 1,500. So, yung binili mo na supplies which amount, yung amount niya is 2,000, nagamit mo na yung 1,500. Okay? So, ano yung mangyayari dun sa asset mo? So, magdi-decrease ka dito sa asset. And also, magdi-decrease ka dito sa capital. Excuse me. So, there is a decrease of assets on the left side of the equation in the form of supplies being used to the business and decrease in capital on the right side of the equation in the form of supplies usages. So, please take note that all supplies taken from the inventory and used by the business in the operation will be charged as expense. So, magiging yung supplies mo under sa assets, magiging supplies expense na siya kapag may nagamit ka. Okay? Thus, reducing the capital account of the owner din. Okay? So, nakakonsume ka, yung business daw, nakakonsume ng worth 1,500 na supplies. So, both side is decreased by 1,500. Okay? So, kung itatabulate natin yung transactions from 1 to 12, so ito yung makakalabasan niya. So, using the transactions above, yung transaction na binasa natin, yung in-analyze natin kanina is let us assign accounts to the amount of the transactions in a tabulated sheet that shows the effects of the amount and accounts in the accounting equation. So, ang accounting equation natin is asset is equal to liabilities plus capital, di ba? So, dito sa transaction number 1, sabi kasi dito, yung business nag-invest ng internet business for 200,000. So, nadagdagan yung cash mo. Tama? And then, at the same time, nadagdagan din yung capital mo. So, both side is increased by 200,000. So, ano yung account specification niya? Yung capital. Okay? So, dito naman, sa transaction number 2, bumili ka ng equipment, pero kinash mo siya. Nagbayad ka ng cash. So, meaning, mababawasan yung cash mo, yung 50,000, and then, madadagdagan ng 50,000. So, yun yung transaction. Okay, dito sa number 3, bumili ka ng computer printers, pero inutang mo siya. Kaya, nadagdagan yung accounts payable mo under liabilities, which is 10,000. Okay? Dito naman, bumili ka ng supplies. Ayan. Nadagdagan yung supplies mo, pero yung supplies kasi na yon, binayaran mo siya as cash. Ngayon, mababawasan yung cash mo ng 2,000. Okay? Dito naman sa cash, dito naman sa transaction number 5. So, ano yung transaction number 5 dito? Ayan, nakakollect ka from the customers, from the internet gamers and users ng 50,000. Ayan, nadagdagan yung cash mo, at the same time, madadagdagan din yung capital mo. Kasi that is considered as service revenue. Okay? Dito sa transaction number 6, nagbayad ka ng salaries expense mo. Kaya, nabawasan yung cash mo, and at the same time, nabawasan din yung capital. Tama? Okay? Dito naman sa transaction number 7, nagbayad ka din ng communication expense. Ayan. So, nabawasan din yung cash mo, which is 20,000. Nabawasan din yung capital mo ng 20,000 para maging equal pa din yung accounting equation natin. And also, nagbayad ka din ng light and water. Ayan. Nabawasan din yung cash mo ng 2,000. Nabawasan din dun sa capital ng 2,000. And also, dun sa owner sa drawing. So, nag-withdraw si owner ng for personal use niya for 5,000. So, nabawasan ka ng 5,000. 5,000 supposed to be ito. 5,000. And also, nabawasan din yung capital mo ng 5,000. Okay? Dito naman sa transaction number 10, nagbayad ka ng utang mo. Dito sa transaction number 6, nag-partial ka ng 5,000. So, meaning, kapag nagbayad ka, naglabas ka ng pera, nabawasan yung asset mo, which is yung cash mo, which is 5,000. And also, syempre, nabawasan na din yung utang mo na 10,000 magkakaroon. Nabawasan na din ng 5,000 kasi nagbayad ka ng utang mo. Okay? And then, sa transaction number 11 naman, nag-invest si owner ng 100,000. Nag-invest siya ng additional investment, which is 100,000. Ayan, madadagdagan yung asset mo under cash, and then madadagdagan din yung capital mo. Kasi that is considered your additional investment. Okay? So, dito. And then, sa transaction number 5, nakakonsume ka ng 1,500 na supplies. Okay? Yung binili mong supplies. So, nabawasan ng 1,500 dun sa inventory mo under supplies. And also, mababawasan din yung capital mo sa under your supplies. Okay? So, that is considered your supplies expense. Okay? So, dapat ngayon, yung asset is equal to liabilities plus capital, yung computation dito, parehas dun sa total ng liabilities plus capital. Yung total na assets, parehas dun sa total ni liabilities plus capital. So, i-compute natin kung tama. So, we have So we have 200 we have wait. Saan na yung 254,500 and then plus 50,000, so magiging 294,500, and then plus 10,000 magiging 304,500, and plus 2,000 magiging magkano na yon? Okay, 254,500 plus 50,000 plus 10,000 plus 2,000. Okay? 316 yung total amount dun sa asset mo. 316,500 total asset. So, what about dito sa liabilities plus capital? So, magkano? 5,000 plus 311,500. Okay? 316,500. So, tama yung accounting equation natin. Tama yung amount nila. Na yung asset mo is 316,500 and yung liabilities plus capital mo is 316,500 also. So, tama yung ginawa nating computation and tama yung ginawa nating sa pag-summarize ng transactions natin. Okay? So, that is your accounting equation. So, ang next na papag-aralan natin sa lesson 9 is we have the cycle of accounting. Okay? So, that is your lesson 8 natin is accounting equation. Now, let's go to your requirements. So, ano ba yung requirements dito? Okay. Sa requirements yung sa lesson A, choose the letter of the correct answer. So, multiple choice siya. So, i-identify mo siya kung nag-increase ba sa asset, nag-increase ba sa liability, sa capital ba, nag-decrease ba, yan. So, number 1, Dr. Waligan began practicing as a doctor by investing 150,000 cash and equipment of 50,000. So, nag-invest si Dr. Waligan sa kanyang business ng 150 cash and equipment for 50,000. So, ano ba yung nag-increase dyan? Ano ba yung may nag-increase ba dyan? May nag-decrease ba? So, mamili ka dito sa pagpipilian. So, i-analyze nyo yung transaction and then tingnan ninyo kung may tamang sagot dito sa ABC na to. Dito sa choices. Okay? So, 1 to 20 yan. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Okay? Multiple choice. Now, dito sa activity 2, state the effects of transactions on assets, liabilities, and capital. Write the amounts on the answer sheet as provided. So, and close sa parenthesis for deductions. Okay? So, ano ba yung effects ng transactions dito? Okay, dito ka magsusulat. So, gaya nung sa requirements natin kanina or sa activity natin kanina dun sa lesson. So, ganito yung gawin ninyo. So, state nyo din kung ano yung account specification niya. Okay? So, dito nyo ilalagay. Okay? So, ang answer sheet nyo dito sa activity to, dito siya. Dito yung activity answer sheet ninyo. Okay? So, that is your requirements for lesson 8. Okay? That is, yun lang sa ngayon. Okay? We will discuss lesson 9 sa next video lecture natin. And I hope na naintindihan ninyo. Kapag hindi nyo naintindihan, mag-message lang kayo sa akin. And kung gusto nyo pumunta sa school, then punta kayo. And reminding also, yung mga natapos na sa lesson 1 to 5, pwede na kayong mag-prelim exam. Okay? So, yun lang. Have a good day and keep safe.